Hello, everyone. Coming up here on the TNA Ring Report, we give you the backlash of what went down last week on Impact. But let's show you what the match is going to be coming up tonight. As Indy Hart, well, we'll get to what's going on with the system. Eddie Edwards and a whole bunch of others got a lot of explaining to do. Why Edwards and the system did what they did cause a ruckus. We'll hear from it coming up. And what Eddie Edwards, what's in his briefcase? The Eddie Edwards briefcase, all the cards for him to get him a championship match. Just don't know what championship he's gonna go for. Gonna have it coming up. But these are the matches right here. Rich Swann takes on his former tag team partner AJ Francis. Elena Black is in action. Nick Nillman taking on YouTuber BDE. Elias taking on one of the members of Order 4 and the Feast of Fire, like we told you about Eddie Edwards and what was going down with Eddie Edwards. And the system explains why they did what they did, kicking Moose and JDC out the booth right here, right now. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this edition of the Pro Wrestling Show. Join in the conversation using the hashtag Pro Wrestling here on Connect. And don't forget to subscribe. Subscribers care. Tell a friend. Hit that subscribe button so you won't miss a thing. All right. Let's get to this right here. The system. What is going on with the system? As you see, Eddie Edwards explains his actions and why he had to kick Moose and JDC out the group. You can't believe that. But, like we said, the system doing what they did and doing it to their best of their knowledge. As you saw right there, JDC going on. What was the reason? We kind of saw it as we saw tonight. But Alicia trying to beat out what was going on. You can tell Alyssa was one that wants some explain to. She said she couldn't wrap her head around it. She wanted nothing to do with it. And you can blame her on that end. Alicia Edwards trying to say, hey, this your group, you're gonna do what you want to do, how you want to do it, however you're going to go around it and stuff. So that was going on, but eventually we saw that Alicia Edwards was doing all that, doing the most. Felt like what was going on and how it was going to be treated. So Alicia Edwards really trying to play her cards, right? We just don't know. But speaking of that, look, Ryan Nimmer still can't get over that Marsh. He defeated Marsh. He won't let Marsh go. Marsh tried to tell Ryan Nimmer move on. He still don't want to move on. He literally clotheslined the woman, literally attacked her, which is, we get this intergender stuff all the time, but he ain't got no right, no business attacking a woman. I mean, man, you feel like a sore loser losing as he did and stuff. So Marsh had to tell him about himself, but it was really get to the point. Well, the Ash by Arrogance brand really trying to make their marks at what they did, despicable. We thought Ash and Arrogance and her team was gonna break up. It just wasn't the case. They didn't break up. It was just all a ruse to get Ash back into the TNA championship picture. She wants to be TNA champion again, knockouts champion. Look like everybody's trying to get back into the plan of motion. As we see, but the plan of motion might be coming along down the road. So we might see how all this is going to play out for Ash by Arrogance. You can tell the Ash by Arrogance team, they're going to be trying to find a way to get Ash back into it. You know, they won't be complete without that knockout title. I can tell you that right now. Well, looks like Stacks and Ariana Grace might be having some problems. Santino doesn't want to get in the middle of it. They're a couple. They know they're gonna work through their issues like any couple do, argue and fuss and fight. So they got a lot going on. After Stacks said he could do it by himself, Ariana Grace was kind of confused at what had happened, but Stacks kept his title right in the middle of what he got going on. Stacks wanted to know what was going down. So you see how that's gonna go down with that family issues. But Santino, I'm aware you don't sell in. It's always something. Just don't sell in. Well, it look like the Hardy Boys and the Righteous might have another tag team time match coming down the road. So we might see that coming down eventually sooner rather than later. So however that's going to go down. But eventually, the Hardy Boys are game and ready as them being defending tag team champions. They might be defending their tag team titles once again. Never know. Well, it looks like Elijah still having problems with Mustafa Ali. As Mustafa Ali was trying to get the upper hand on Elijah. Elijah didn't settle for that. Elijah knew what was going down. Elijah was sending the message and stuff, how that went. We know next week will be a mixed tag team match. Elijah and Jay Stone taking on Mustafa Ali and Tasha Steele in the mixed tag team match. Real interesting next week. Yeah, mixed tag team match for that coming up. So we'll see that next week in that mixed tag team match. But it looks like Tasha Steele's gonna eat that pinfall. I can tell you that right now. In that mixed tag team match coming up, we'll see next week. Well, we see right here, Elena Black made her debut, better known as Corey J. She did some move and defeated her opponent so viciously that she did that. Got the win, got the 1, 2, 3. Elena Black might be a future Knockouts champion. Mark my words, down the road. So we'll see Elena on how she's going to be doing sometime down the road in the future. But Elena Black won. Speaking of that, Nick Nemeth, better known as Dolph Ziggler, won his match tonight over BDD. Pinned him real clear tonight. Was it too much to hold, too much to handle? We saw tonight. Well, we showed you that Elijah setting up like a tombstone power driver like he did. Could that be the case next week? We'll have to wait and see on that next week. Stuff. Well, we get to our main event. Rich Swann got the victory. Rich Swann, former TNA champion, got the victory over AJ Francis. Been AJ Francis get the 1, 2, 3. So Rich Swann could be down the road getting him a future TNA title match. However, that's going to be coming down for him. However, that's going to go. Well, we get to this right here. The Feast of Fire. Feast of Fire. Remember last week we had the contracts and stuff. Well, this is where the contracts getting interesting right here. We see Eddie Edwards receives him a world championship match. Edwards received a world championship match. And Edwards did call out Mike Santana, let Santana know that he's coming for the TNA championship. And Eddie Edwards going to be a 3-time TNA champion. So he did grab it. That was going to get a tag team title shot, but it just wasn't the case. Well, it looks like Eric Young is going to get him an X Division championship match. I thought Young was going to probably perhaps get an international world championship match, but that's not the case. But look who's getting fired. Steve Maclin. Steve Maclin getting fired. And it looks like Trey Miguel getting an international championship match. Trey would have been getting a X Division championship match. That just wasn't the case. So everyone getting a championship match. We didn't get nobody for the tag team titles, which is weird. But Steve Maclin out the whole bunch. You see getting fired. But interesting to know that Macklin's wife Deon Purrazzo is in AEW. He's about to make his move to AEW. That's what it looks like. So we just have to wait and see on Maclin's opportunity to get him on AEW, perhaps going to AEW. So we'll see. But we know next week there will be a mixed tag team match as Elijah teams up with Jada Stone to take on Mustafa Ali and Tasha Steele. No, Mustafa Ali and Tasha Steele had their problems way back then, but they met fences. But next week could be a totally different situation as Elijah want to get his hands on Mustafa Ali so bad. We'll see that next week. As well as the Righteousness is in action next week. The Righteousness is in action. Righteousness will be in action. Vincent and somebody dude, they'll be in action next week. Well, as this right here next week on Thursday Night Impact, a huge 6-woman tag team match. The Elegance Brand takes on Angel Warrior and Indy Hartwell next week. So we'll see that coming up to fruition next week. A huge main event is but we now know Steve Maclin was the one that had got the fire briefcase. He's no longer going to be a part of Impact Wrestling. We'll see what his future holds. I'm thinking he's going to AEW since his wife, Deanna, is part of the AEW roster. Or WWE, you never know. But we kind of know Eric Young's faith. Eric Young's heading to get him an X Division Championship match, as well as Trey Miguel. Eddie Edwards getting him a World Championship match contract whenever he wants to cash it, as well as Steve Eric Young with the X Division Championship as well. I'm gonna show you Trey Miguel. Trey Miguel getting him a international championship match. So a lot of moving parts and stuff moving around that we see moving forward. Well, that's gonna do it here for the Pro Wrestling Show for the TNA Ring Report. It's a short pro wrestling show, but hey, we kind of cover all we can throughout the whole entire show. So, we're doing SmackDown Report here on the Pro Wrestling Show.